Dougie here from Ploughman Studios. What I wanted to speak about today was some high gain chord voicings. Now there's nothing that can really stop you from playing your normal open chords when you're playing with a really high gain sound. But sometimes we want to have those thicker, more power chord driven sounds in our songs. My guitar is tuned to drop A here, it's a 7-string, so you'll notice some of my shapes I'm playing with my finger barred like that, just because we're in the drop tuning. So you might get a bit bored with some of those standard power chord shapes, playing riffs like that all the time. And you don't quite want to add the extra voicings in there by doing the big chords like that. So what's something you can do to spice up the power chords? Well, I don't know what you normally play with the power chords. Some people play the 2-note ones where you're just playing the root and the fifth. If you're not playing the octaves on them at all, that can be a way to fill it out a bit, but I'm guessing most of you out there are still doing that. One of the things I like to do is actually play the fifth below the chord. So if we were playing like a C power chord here, we've got G there. What you do is you actually play G down the octave below the chord. So when you're playing on a non-7-string guitar or 8-string guitar, we've got that really thick low end there. This can sometimes kind of do a way of tricking your ears into hearing almost like there's a low string there. When you're playing the fifth on top as well, it kind of confuses the ear a little bit. It doesn't quite sound like the fifth is on the bottom. Almost sounds like you're playing it with the root in there. That's playing the root as well as the fifth below the original power chord by using the drop tuning on the 7-string there. So if you're playing in drop tuning with 7-string, you might want to do that. To have the 4-note chords, and that's strictly just roots and fifths there. It's a bit of a thicker sound there, but you're still not really adding much tonality into the sound there. It's just all roots and fifths still. So what I like to do is add either the major third, minor third, or the 9 or the 11 on top of the chord. And it looks a little something like this. If you've played Every Breath You Take by The Police before, you would have seen the shape with the added 9 I'm talking about. So it's like taking the power chord we have there, root, fifth, and then the octave, and where the octave one is, moving up to the 2nd or the 9th. It's a pretty useful sound. You can pretty much use it wherever you're normally using those sus2 kind of shapes if you're playing with a bit less gain. Like anytime you do that, you can use it. It's a bit of a smaller sound in terms of the amount of frequencies it takes up because you're not using all these higher strings there as well, but it's quite thick and quite tight, and you can get a lot of really fast parts in playing those ninths in there. So I really find that's quite good there. You get a little bit limited though with what you can actually put on top of the chord. You'll see if I'm playing the octave here, then there's 9th. You can pretty much get the minor third there. As you get up higher with the frets, it's a bit easier. But unless you've got extremely monstrous hands, you're probably not going to be able to reach that the major third up there, or definitely not the sus4. That's just really hard anyway down there. Maybe if you're up on the higher frets, it's a bit hard due to the fact that the root and the fifth's 2 frets apart there already, and you got to stretch even further on the top. So where some of these extended voicings combined with the power chords can come in real handy is when you're playing in drop tunings. I find that's the easiest way to use them. It's when they just seem to come alive for me. probably just out of the convenience of your hand being able to stretch to the notes easily. So as I said before, drop A at the moment for this guitar. So I'll play a B power chord down here. It's very easy to add the 9 on top. The same as playing a normal power chord, there's only a 2 fret stretch. Quite easy to add the minor third. Easy to add the major third as well. It's pretty much like when we were doing our normal ninths before. You know that shape? Well, in the drop tuning it's the same difficulty as that. And what it allows you to do is you can pretty much make melodies on this top string here. Which would have been more boring. It's a bit more tonally unambiguous. I've used that a lot in my writing with Hemina, a little bit with Anubis as well. I first started really putting it together when I was working with Avaran many years ago with my mate James Draper. It's actually something he showed me, and it's something I've carried with me with all my guitar playing moving forward. So I'd be interested in what you guys do for some of your high gain chord voicings, because sometimes we can't play the same sounds we're used to playing with a lighter gain. Like, there just isn't the same amount of clarity. And I've been tempted to use big chords as well in the past. Like, I do use them. Like, I might do some major 9 chords, that kind of thing thrown in, but it's probably not the bread and butter of what you can always do, especially if you're wanting to leave some spaces in the frequency spectrum for keyboards or other higher range instruments. I find the guitar is most well suited to that lower and middle range with doing riffs. So if you like the content today, leave a comment below and like and subscribe, and let me know what you'd like me to cover. I'm pretty open with the content. I'd love to make any videos that would help people out there. Just really open to it all. So probably see you next week. I've been trying to do these weekly. I've got a couple of suggestions from some followers on my Facebook page and some of my friends on Facebook. I'd like to try and tackle some of the topics that they were looking at as well. So I hope this has been helpful for you. And Dougie from Ploughman Studios. Till next time, see ya.